look at the numbers. We have 8 billion people in the world. The West has 1 billion, which profited greatly from the previous centuries of colonialism. First, direct colonialism, and in India, you know all about it, and then from technology colonialism. And all the talk about global technologies being for everyone is no longer valid. Once you have a sanction, once you decide who will have your technology, who wouldn't have your technology, all this is becoming idle talk. So we have 7 billion people who should be technologically free to do whatever they want to ensure own safety, own technology base, independent of the Western technological space. Why? Because in India and in Russia, we understand very well the word sovereignty. India is a sovereign country, truly sovereign country, thinks like sovereign country, so does Russia. And political sovereignty right now is impossible without technological sovereignty, because all the government systems, all interaction in the world is based on technology. So as a global majority, and India and Russia, with China, of course, with many other countries, these countries have a mission of ensuring their technological independence, technological sovereignty, and that corresponds very well with the reality of today, because we are entering new era. We have new technological cycle unfolding. Once in 100 years, we have fundamental changes which are going through. The world will be different, and the next couple of decades will be critical in defining how that world will look in terms of technology, in terms of politics, in terms of alliances. And somebody has to lead, somebody has to take charge. And India and Russia, two countries who understand very well the issue of sovereignty and never quarreled among themselves. We don't have any issues with each other, should lead and show an example of perfect technology relationship, perfect political relationship, in order to construct the world which will be fair, which will be focused on the future, which will focus on the needs of people, which will be more secure, more stable, and we need to write the new rules. And nobody else will write those rules if we don't do it. We need to understand that a number of powers, and India is among them, should agree on a new set of rules. When we're talking BRICS, BRICS organization, what is BRICS organization? Is an organization which is testing how big players like India, Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa can work on the basis of real equality and real understanding and respect of each other's sovereignty. If we offer the world a working model how in the new year countries can relate to each other, build together systems, build together rules of trade, rules in technology space, new standards of technology, then everybody else will see that this is working, that you can have a world without somebody imposing the rules on another country as it happens right now. I think India and Russia have huge responsibility in making sure that this system works. You see, the West will keep working the way it's working. First of all, it is working for its own interest as ever. Its policy, and you see it everywhere, is to divide and conquer. But its time is gone. Its time is gone. India and Russia and China and many other countries like Indonesia, Saudi Arabia are no longer the countries which take orders from anyone. I think what we need to do is to keep the dialogue among ourselves, our countries, and start writing the new rules which would be more appropriate for a new time, because the world will go through a huge transition right now. And the West, the Western economy, they no longer have a dominant position as they used to, but the Western economic space will shrink. And India will grow much faster than it is growing now, I believe. Russia will grow, and other countries will grow. And we will be the majority, economically and politically. The center of the world is in Eurasia already. So that new reality should be respected. But we should rise up to that reality and be more active in actually security areas, technology areas, intergovernmental agreements in order to promote new rules, build new rules. We had today in the conversation a number of good proposals in terms of let's write standards for smart city, because very soon, in few short decades, every city will be smart. But every city must be secure. And if we have a hodgepodge of different approaches to this, we will not achieve this. India and Russia can write new security standards for smart cities. India and Russia can build a foundation of more fair, more effective financial systems in the world, which everybody expects us to do. So we have a lot of work to do. If you look at the technology space, what the US is offering, those are legacy systems that they built for the whole world, thinking that those systems will help them to dominate technology space. And those are great companies like Microsoft, Google, or many other which established their very strong systems. The same in consultancy, which sells the information, it sells ideas and things like that. What we understand is that those services are no longer global. They can be discontinued for political reasons for some countries like Russia. Okay? We cannot rely on them anymore. And we cannot, and India I'm sure cannot, buy something which is a black box, which is given to you and you don't have access to how it's working and who is using those services, and are you aware of other people who are actually having a back door to your services, to your government, to your businesses. The only solution for that is to build the new systems, global system by ourselves in partnership. When we open the code, when we build systems together, when it's no longer a black box, but a cooperative enterprise, then we can trust each other. Then we can ensure that whatever is built is for everyone, and nobody has the right to discontinue, disconnect, or use it in order to gain some political advantage. India is a great power. It's sovereign power, independent power, and it's not up to me to advise India who should be in alliance with India. I mean, it's sovereign Indian decision. It can work with the US, it can work with Russia, it can work with China. It will work with whoever is more comfortable and whoever is more useful for Indian goals in the world, Indian purposes. Obviously, India has strong ties with the US in terms of business, in terms of technology, but what I'm saying, that was in the old world. Of course, the ties between India and the US cannot be cut. Lots of businesses are working together. What I'm saying, that India in parallel should build new ties, which will complement those ties, sometimes replace those ties, because the future of India as one of the powerhouses is to lead and not to follow. It's diversification for India and for Russia, but it's also a growth, a natural growth of the world, because India is looking to build relationships with many partners. Russia is building relations with many partners, and there's huge potential between Russia and India in terms of trade, in terms of commodities, in terms of technology, in terms of policy making, because we are two great powers, and obviously everybody is looking to great powers to propose something. And I think it's a natural growth of relationship, which corresponds to natural growth of economy and natural growth of global technology alliances. My direct and clear answer is no. India should not be concerned. Let me explain you. Right now, the global business and technology space is breaking into the techno-economic blocks. What is a techno-economic bloc? Is a regional space which will compete in the new world with other. Let me give you an example of two techno-economic blocks which are already there. It's United States, Britain, Australia as one, and China in another. What's in the block? It's a big chunk of territory that you can control. It is a set of resources which are there, a financial system with its own currency, and also reflecting the new things, technological platforms and standards on which that block is formed. And Russia and India, looking at the Anglo-Saxon bloc and Chinese bloc, ask the same question: how we will compete with them? Russia is not the part of the Chinese economic space. It can be a partner, and a very good partner, but we are different countries. India and Russia have the same challenge. We need to build enough economic power, economic capacity in order to compete in a new world. Neither India or Russia can do it separately. Neither Southeast Asia, neither the Arab world. So we need to unite. We need to build our common economic space and technology space, obviously, because this economic space will live on technology platforms which are common. That is why India and Russia will probably form another bloc to compete with Chinese bloc and Anglo-Saxon bloc. This is the answer to your question. The economic reality is such that we need to work together to build that economic and technology space. China may be a great partner. China may be, we can have great relationship. India can have great relationship with China, but we are different. We are different. And when the technology space, the new technology space forms, I believe India and Russia will find ourselves in the same technology space.